Hey folks, Taff and Dale here, and I've got a video today. I have been so anxious and excited about getting to do this. It's been about a year that I've known about this album coming down the pike, and it's finally here. I'm talking about Russ Taff, Cover Story. Of course, everybody knows my favorite artist of all time, the guy I think's the best vocalist, greatest vocalist of all time. Man, so I'm thrilled to finally be able to talk about this fully and show everything fully. So let me kind of back up and talk a little bit about the album. I guess it was somewhere around a year ago that I started seeing some pictures on Facebook, because I am Facebook friends with Tori Taff, his wife, and I see some stuff, and I was seeing pictures of some kind of party that they were throwing, and hints that it was some sort of listening party, and I guess they were listening to this album as they were wrapping up the recording process. But I'm trying to remember when I found out for sure that there was an album. It might not have been until May, because in May of last year, my buddy Dave and I went up to Ohio to see Russ open for Classic Petra Revival, and we got to go back and talk to Russ and Larry Hall, his keyboardist, and Russ was telling us about this album. And that's when I think I found out that what had happened was Steve Taylor, Russ had played a Chicago Vera show. They were having a concert celebrating, I think it was a Chicago Vera album, the last album that they had. And there were some other artists that performed. Russ was one of them. Steve heard him and thought, man, he sounds great, needs to make music. And pitched an idea at him. I think he helped raise some funds. And if you don't know who Steve Taylor is, he started out as kind of a Christian satirist, which made him really unique. Such a unique artist, because most of everything that he was putting out early on was satire. Then he got in the band Chicago Vera, and he's growing musically this whole time so much. And then he started Squint Entertainment, or it was a label, Christian label. It was the label that really kind of launched Sixpence None the Richer during their Kiss Me phase. And then he come back, did some other albums. This is a really good one to pick up. It's Steve Taylor and the Perfect Foil. I got this off of a Kickstarter, which is why it's signed. But brilliant album. He's done some other stuff. He did an album with the Danielson family called Steve Taylor and the Danielson Foil. And he's also produced or directed some movies like Blue Like Jazz. Just a very creative guy. And so I think he served more as an executive producer. And what Steve did was he got John Mark Painter to produce the album. And John Mark Painter is brilliant. I'm a big fan of the duo he has with his wife, Fleming and John. So it's John Mark Painter and Fleming McWilliams. And this is the same album. It's Delusions of Grandeur. And brilliant album. Just, I guess, two different pressings. got 2 different covers. Man, this needs a vinyl pressing in the worst way. She is such an incredible vocalist. I'm telling you, she has she can sing with great restraint. She can sing just a beautiful full voice, and then she's got another gear she can switch into, and just a kind of rock gear that just blow your head off. She's so good. And but he is too. From what I understand, he can play just about any instrument that you hand him. Here's another Fleming and John CD. What is this? The Way We Are. You should hear the song Ugly Girl on here. So funny. There they are on the back. So anyway, talking to Russ that night, he was talking about, it's a covers album, a lot of 80s bands, so I'm trying to wrap my head around what they were doing. And he said it was, and I've heard him, when we went to the release party last November, I heard him talk about this too, is that it was one of those projects where they did not have him sing a lot. I mean, he went through the songs, but he's used to going over songs over and over again till you get them just right. And I think he felt like he was a little anxious because they didn't do that many takes. But I'm telling you, I couldn't tell the difference between this album and an album where he had more takes, because it sounds brilliant to me. So anyway, so the Kickstarter comes along in August. This is the record collector part. So the Kickstarter comes along. Money's tight. I'm looking at the album, looking at the CD. I want both. What do? Money's tight. I just went and got the vinyl. I got the special vinyl, and thought I'll just pick up CD later. And so we started getting close to the release date, and I'm really wanting a CD. Someone put one up on eBay, and I snagged it. I should say that I will link the eBay seller in this video, because I'll be going back to her store to see if there's anything else I want, because I don't think I've ever seen 2 CDs packed better than they were ever. I mean, she had them wrapped in cardboard. She had bubble wrap inside the CDs over the spindles. They came in these CD sleeves. They're both in mint condition. She did such an excellent job. I wish I could have remembered to save that letter and at least thanked her by first name, but I forgot. And so I'm going to link her store page. I don't know what else to do, but she really impressed me with the way she sent it. And she threw in an extra CD. She sent me this, Steve Black. This is Going Home. I've never heard of them, but I was excited when I saw it because it's on Silent Planet, which was a label that kind of focused on singer-songwriters. And it's not around anymore, I don't believe, but they did it. The albums that they put out, I really loved. And so I spun this, and it's great. I'm glad to have it, but even looking on the internet, I can't find much else about Steve Black. It seems like there's another album that he did with a group, but it looked like a live album. He did a few songs from here, but other than that, I can't find another album from him. So I got to do more research on Steve Black. A good songwriter. Here's the CD. It is a digipack. A great photo. I believe this photo was done by the same guy that conducted the Soft White Underbelly interview, which did hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. Pretty basic design. Got credits. There's a profile picture. But I think when Russ went in for the photos, I think that they just shot for a few minutes, and Russ was a little perplexed, thinking, weren't we supposed to do a photo shoot? And when they asked the photographer for the picture, he said, "Will this do?" Yeah, that's outstanding. And so a lot of this album, I guess, is them just kind of stripping back the a little bit from the not making it too overproduced. What I understand from the process too is that they all submitted songs for the album, and so what this isn't is just some random collection of songs. If you know Russ's story, again, in the description, I'll link the free documentary that shows on YouTube. You can watch and understand that these songs, a lot of these songs, well, all of these songs, relate back to his struggles with alcoholism, which he has been so brave and transparent about sharing because he wants to help people. And that's reflected in the choices. For example, I know he mentioned he did a cover of Simon Garfunkel's "The Sound of Silence" and those opening lines, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." Just, that's part of where he was struggling and what he was going through. So, which songs are on this album? It starts off with the old spiritual, "Tear This Building Down," the story of Samson. It's got Depeche Mode's "People Are People," U2's "When Love Comes to Town." The National did a song called "Demons." He covers that song. Duran Duran's "Ordinary World." A song called "The Cross" by Prince. Then we have "Grandma's Hands," the Bill Withers tune. "I Believe in You," which is a Bob Dylan cover. Simon and Garfunkel's "The Sound of Silence." And then there's this other gentleman who I will have to look up his name because I've blanked on it. Andy Gallahorn. And he's a singer-songwriter out of Nashville. He wrote the song "I Will," which is the next to last song. Brilliant song. And I love that they didn't feel the need that every cover had to be somebody super famous. That it was about the theme of the album and the artistry. And so that was, so now you've got this song in here, this brilliant song. I want to go out and get some Andy Gallahorn albums now. And then follows up with the spiritual "All the Poor and Powerless," which is my favorite song on the album. It is so powerful. Yeah. So I have the album here. Let's take a look. So I did score the box. And I think I peeped Russ's eyeball looking at me. So let's Let's take a look at that cover. Oh, man. There we go. That's signed. Okay. Well, how they sign it and shrink wrap it? I guess he signed it before the pressing. I don't know. But we're going to be popping that shrink right off. The hype sticker just says special edition, soft white, undercoat swirl vinyl LP. So they were trying to relate the special edition back to his soft white underbelly interview. Okay, here we go. Man, they did, that photographer's really good. That's an excellent picture. And it's a gatefold, but it's not, it's a single album, but it's a gatefold. Now, let's see. Let's see what the gatefold is. Oh, okay. It's just the, basically, this, just a reshaping. We saw that, all of this in the, inside of the CD case. It's a good profile picture of Russ. And then we get credits. Let's take a look at the vinyl. Comes in a white polyline sleeve. Oh, look at that. That's a nice looking record. Custom, why has my brain been blanking on the word center rings? Custom center rings. Did that in a video a few weeks ago. Yeah. So the vinyl looks excellent. I already know the music on it's going to be incredible. What else is there to say about it? I guess I should wrap this up. This is going to be a little long for an unboxing video anyway, but I'm telling you, you can go to russtaff.com, I believe, and they have this on the, I think they still have copies of the swirl, white swirl vinyl. If you prefer black vinyl, I believe they have that. They have the CD. Yeah. This is, man, this sets the bar high. I have a hard time believing that I'm going to find an album this year that I like better than this one. I'm sure I'll buy plenty of albums to try, but yeah, this is going to be the high water mark. I think, yeah. So hopefully it gets a recognition and people will check it out. And that's what I've got going on. I'm going to try to go ahead and edit this and get this up before the Super Bowl is tonight. And I really haven't done anything to show a pick, I guess. So who do I think is going to win? I'm kind of leaning toward the Chiefs. I kind of feel like if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And nobody's been able to beat Mahomes since, well, Brady. And he doesn't play anymore. And I do think the Eagles are a good team. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. But I think when it comes right down to it, if you're asking me, if it's a close game, and the Chiefs are notorious for winning close games, and no, I don't buy into all that ref stuff. Just don't. Teams get calls. There are bad calls all the time. I'm tired of the crying. But yeah, I just think that if push comes to shove, Mahomes will will I just have greater faith that he'll make the plays. Don't see Jalen Hurts quite being on that level. But then again, maybe it's not Jalen that'll get the Chiefs. Maybe it's Saquon. Man, he has had a fantastic year. It's going to be two tough teams. As long as the Bills are beat, I don't really have a dog in the fight. So I'm just going to enjoy some really good football and hope they put on a good game. And hope that I've got the random office pool thing. If the certain scores hit, I'll win $50. Anyway, my phone's just acting up. So I'm going to get off here and get this video edited, and hopefully sometime during the Super Bowl it'll be up. And I appreciate everybody who's watched this much of me rambling. And man, I hope you're having a great Super Bowl weekend and going to have a great week. And we'll do this again. Oh, I've got heavy metal shipment coming in at Better Days. Keep watching. So until then, peace.